connect. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listening. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim, I gotta smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue and let me stop rubbing, or she's flip flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Welcome back to Kate and Jimbo. I'm as shocked as you are to see Jimbo here. I said I'm going up to stream, but Jimbo obviously had FOMO and thought I'm going to fight through the man flu and come on today and give his opinion on whatnots. But welcome everybody. It is the 5th of March. It's another glorious day in Lincolnshire. The sun's shining, it's mild, it's beautiful. And yeah, a slight change of time today, 12:15, because I had a few bits to do this morning. Didn't want to be late. But Jimbo, how are you doing with your man flu?
Well, still a bit snotty, not too bad, but a bit better today. But I saw yesterday your viewers were down, so I thought I better come in and get the views back up.
Actually, they were the highest viewers I've had since you joined the channel. So that's a fallacy in itself. But good to see anyway, Jimbo fighting the good fight with his man flu, honestly. Let's have a look into the chat. We go, Leo, big up, Leo, homie. Great to see you on the member show yesterday, albeit for a short period of time. Any time spent with you is good times. Shem's in the house, says, hey, Princess Kate and some man flu, Jimbo. Hope you're both well. I'm good. Jimbo is just being a typical drama queen, but he's here. But I hope you and your mum are okay, Shem. Big up, Paige. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Leo's singing along to the perfect match and then says, Jimbo. Welcome back, Jimbo, says Paige. Afternoon, Drulala, says Kate and Jimbo, good to see you back from injury. Big up all. I tell you what, I wish our players recovered as quickly as Jimbo. What a soldier he is, Kate.
Thank
Big
you,
up.
Marty.
Lovely to see you yesterday on the member show as well.
See, he's a man and he understands.
Yeah, he also came on the member show. He said, the only reason I'm coming on is because Jimbo ain't here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bothered. But big up, Martin. And Big Pants says, as someone walked under a ladder or broken a mirror in N17, seems like we have a voodoo against us.
Why?
Well, this is one of the subjects of today's show. Obviously, the news broke yesterday that Kulusevski, well, I've got the picture right here, actually. He has been, there's a picture of him here, And as you can see down here, he is wearing a protective boot on his foot, which has
looks like
sent
a woman
everyone.
holding a
No,
baby.
it's Kulu. It's Kulu, darling, with his dressing gown on and a big boot on his foot. But it's obviously sent social media into a meltdown with rumours that he could miss both the AZ Alkmaar game and the Bournemouth game. Whilst, I mean, I was on the Irish Hotspur last night, and Dave and Johnny said they think he could be out for 5 to 6 weeks. The fact that he's wearing a protective boot. But Jimbo, another injury blow. You know, we've got Van der Ven, Romero, Solanke, all in full training, and then this bolt out the blue that Kulusevski's got some sort of foot injury. What's going on?
Look, it's not the end of the world, is it? People act like it's like we're a one-man team. We're not. We've had Van der Ven and Romero out for months, and they're our two best defenders. And even though we've lost quite a few games, we still just crack on. I'm sure we can do without Kulusevski for a few games, and he needs a rest anyway. He's played game after game after game. Look, if we're honest, he hasn't been fantastic the last few games. You know, he's had spells where he's been good, and he's had games where he's been non-existent. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. He's going to get a rest for a few games and give someone else a chance to step up.
But that's the thing. This is the problem that Ange has got. We've got a player like Kulusevski, who's a strong player who carries the ball so well. And I don't think we've got anyone that directly walks into that position. Although Maddison is reasonably good at holding the ball up, and he's very, you know, a creative player. I think he's got more goals and assists than Kulu. He hasn't got the strength of Kulusevski. And Madders, as much as he's been good in some games, he's been absolutely dreadful in other games. I mean, is he the guy that's going to step up?
Well, we've got Bergville as well. He can,
yeah,
he can play in there. I don't. Look, there's not many players in the Premier League, right? In the whole of the Premier League, right? It's not going to have 1 or 2 games out with some sort of injury or tiredness or something. So it's his time. He's had a really good run. He's going to be out for a few games. Just crack on with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a massive loss. I think particularly the first.
It's a massive loss, Kate, but it's like it is what it is, isn't it? It's no good us melting down over it.
No, but we've still got to address it. I mean, I would say the first half of the season, he was our player of the season. And I would say the second half, it looks like it's going to be Jed Spence. So, you know, they, for me, have been our 2 standout players this season. And I just think Kulusevski, because of our squad, we haven't got a like-for-like replacement, which isn't on Ange. It's on the board and Daniel Levy for not buying a like-for-like replacement. But, I mean, it's true what Drew says and what you said. Madders has got to step up. I just don't have the confidence that Madders will do that. He's too in and out for me. I hope he does. But I don't think Bergville has got the same physicality that Kulu's got.
No, he's not. He's not. They are different type of players, Kate. But at the end of the day, we have to adjust, don't we? And I mean, he's had a really good run. It's the first time he's been out, I think, all season. So he hasn't done bad. So it might do him good to have a few games off as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be more than 2 weeks if he's got a boot on, because he's got to get it fixed, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? The injury?
No, I think Ange Postecoglou is due to do a press conference today, and I'm hoping that we'll find out more, because yesterday the latest news was that he was having tests to determine exactly what's wrong. So hopefully we will find out today exactly what's going on with his foot. I mean, it could be his metatarsal, it could be an ankle injury. Johnny suggested it's because he's played too much and it's sort of wear and tear. It could be anything. We don't know. He could have stepped on a Lego brick for all we know. But hopefully we'll find out more today.
Well, I mean, look, if he's got a boot on, it's going to be, I would say, at least 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's the worry. Big up Luton Dan says, good to see Jim back. Man flu is the worst virus in the world. Kulu looked dead on his feet. Yeah, I'm not debating that he definitely needs a rest, but I would have preferred him to have a rest rather than get an injury to get a rest. He needs a break. He's lost so much pace. I reckon Jim and me would beat him in a race. I'm not sure about that, Mike. But anyway, moving swiftly along on better news.
We would.
Yeah, maybe with his boot on. In better news, Solanke, Romero, Van der Ven all spotted in full training, all expected to be available for the game tomorrow against AZ Alkmaar. Jim, will you or would you, if you were Ange Postecoglou, risk starting any of these three, or would you put them on the bench, or would you let them recover for a bit longer?
Well, I mean, I don't know how long they've been training, and I don't know what type of condition they're in. But
no, they're apparently at the final stages of training now. They're match ready, apparently.
Okay. Well, if they would, then I probably would start one of them, probably Van der Ven, and give him half a game, and then maybe give Romero half a game as well. I don't know. Is Davis back? Is he?
Not that I know of. It says Van der Ven and Solanke have only just returned to training, but Romero has had an extra week of training, which suggests he should be in a better position to play.
Yeah, then that's what I would do then, Romero.
But then do you put him alongside Danso? Because for me, I think if you take out Kevin Danso from the squad, that's really hard on that guy, because I think he's been impeccable.
Yeah, and they play the same side, don't they?
They do.
Go on. What was you going to say?
No, I was going to say they do play the same side, but I think they could. I mean, it would look.
I wouldn't take Danso out.
No, I'm thinking maybe play Danso on his lesser preferred side and put Romero where he normally is. Maybe I think you've got to start. Go on.
Or start as they normally start, and if we're doing well, and then maybe change them over then. And give Romero some game time, but depending on the score.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I think put Romero in the bin. I did have this discussion with Dave last night and Johnny, and I was completely outvoted. I said, I don't care what happens to Romero. As far as I'm concerned, he can leave. If we can get 70, 80 million for him, we should let him go. He has missed. He's been unavailable for 29 Spurs matches over 113 days, but always finds a way of being available for international duty. I don't think his head's in the squad. I don't think he's particularly fitted to Ange's system either. So I would let him go. Where Dave said if they offer him 200 million, we should not let him go because real teams keep their best players. What do you think about Romero, Jimbo?
Well, I'm so on the fence about him because is he one of our best players? I don't know. He seems to be for Argentina. I don't know. I'm on the fence about him, Kate, because I see him some games and I think he looks what he is, a World Cup winner. Then I see him other games and I just think, what is going through his head? You know, he distributes the ball really well, which is important.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's going to sign a new contract anyway. I'm convinced. I said it to you all along. I just think that he will sign a new contract and stay. But he's one of these players. He's so frustrating because he can play so well, and in other games he just doesn't look like he's bothered.
Yeah. Romero has a remarkable ability to be fit for Argentina.
Yeah. I agree with that.
This is what I said on Dave's show last night. It was the same with Lo Celso. They just play average, bang average, and then they go to their country and play out of their skin. And I get it. I understand, Johnny was drumming it in that it is a different culture in Brazil, in South America, where everything is you play for your country. That's the biggest honor you can have. However, we pay these guys wages. That attitude stinks as far as I'm concerned. I get it. It's an honor to play for your country, but not at the peril of your team that pays your wages. And I've got this real, I don't know how to say it, but I didn't like it with Lo Celso and it massively put me off of him. And I don't like it with Romero. It really pisses me off. And it doesn't matter what injury, how long he's out for, he all of a sudden is fit to play for his country.
Yeah, I mean, club football's their bread and butter. That's what feeds their family.
Exactly.
So it should be club first.
Yeah, guys, don't forget we've got the young centre back coming in the summer, Bin Romero. Yeah, for me, I've lost a bit of patience with Romero. I don't really care if he goes. If we can get big money for him, I'd let him go. I don't think he's one of our best players because availability is the best ability, and he's not available enough for me. So whether
You know what? Sometimes, sorry, Kate. Sometimes players pick their club over their country and they get slaughtered for it. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, whether that is because of Ange's system that's killing him, I don't know. But apparently, when we signed Romero, we were told he had this muscle problem. He's got some sort of muscle condition, and Tottenham were aware that they're going to have to manage it. And it looks like we haven't managed it very well because he's injured a lot of the time. But yeah, I don't know why we seem to buy players that have got muscle injuries and problems like Van der Ven with his hamstring. You know, he'd had problems before. You're taking a risk if you sign these players that they're going to be ongoing problems. But I do get this as well, Barney. I have more confidence in Romero playing from the back than any other centre back. I get that because his ball, like his distribution at times is fabulous, but I just have lost a bit of patience with him. Big up Edwardson says, I don't think you can do without Romero. He's one of the best centre backs we've had since Ledger King and Dawson. I think Danso can be as good as him. I do, given time and the right coaching. I think Danso and maybe Van der Ven could build up some sort of partnership. I don't know. Attitude to me is everything. And, you know, I'm not convinced Romero's attitude's right. But big up, Ben. Hope you're well. I didn't realise you were poorly. I've just seen Drew to say, but I did wonder why you weren't streaming yesterday.
He's got man flu as well, Kate. You don't understand how much it affects us men.
Highline tactics of what's causing injuries to Romero and Van der Ven. This is something we can never say unless a doctor comes out and says 1,000,000%.
I don't agree with it. Sorry, I don't.
No, Jimbo is one that doesn't believe that.
No, I think. Well, I think there's a lot of managers. He never started the high line. There's a lot of managers to do it, and I think that they should be fit enough to be able to handle it. They play for a professional football club, and they should be fit enough to be able to play that way. If that's the team, if that's the tactics, the manager plays, you know. And as I said, he didn't invent the high line.
Yeah. Oh my God, another guy. There you go, Guy Thompson. There's two guys in the house. I drive for Asda, and I'm sure they pay me to drive for UPS for the day. Laugh out loud. Feeling less weird today, but okay. Thanks for asking. What was up, Ben? Let us know. Romero looks disinterested. Even watching him in training, he doesn't look keen. Yeah, this is what I mean. I don't like his attitude. It stinks. And you know, I get that he's definitely a great player. I mean, he's won the World Cup, he's won the Copa America and what have you. But I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just don't see his passion for the club. I think Cutie's reached his sell-by date.
A lot of people down on him, isn't there?
Yeah, Leddy King. Oh my God, that's heresy. Yeah, it's hard to compare anyone to our Ledders. What a guy. Tamori would have been a good signing for us. I think people were down on Romero because of the fact that he's like I say, his best ability is availability. He's rarely available, and yet he always is available for his country. And it's so annoying. Romero is too slow getting the ball out the back at times, and he's always a liability with people getting his head. Yeah, he has got a bozo gene for sure.
Yeah, he's 100% right. How many times do I say to you, Kate, he holds onto the ball sometimes too long, right? But his distribution is excellent. But sometimes he just divers on the ball.
He slows the play down too much for me.
I say that to you all the time when he's playing. And and he's right. Guy's right again. If people can get into his head, he's one of these players. He's easy to get into the head.
Finn's got it spot on. If we can get 60 mil plus for Romero, then happy days. We won't miss him because he never plays anyway. I think there's some truth in that, to be fair. But look, we'll have to see. Romero won everything at international level. Then he works at Spurs. The contrast in ambition for him must be frustrating. Yeah, there is that as well. You know, is it the ambition at the club? Who knows? Have some coffees, you lot. Coffees or coffees? But big up, Guy Thompson, with a super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Very much appreciated as always. Luton Dan says the players not being fit enough and wanting it enough because causes injuries. Yeah, that's a good point. Big up, Daniel. Hope you're well. Are you confident for tomorrow night, Kate and Jimbo?
Yeah.
Are you?
You meant like that. You went like that.
Are you confident for tonight, Jimbo?
Very much so. Yeah, I am. Yeah. I think we're away the first leg, aren't we?
Correct.
Yeah, we get a nice win there and then come back home.
Can I just ask, Will's just gone out?
I don't know. I heard him out there, more than likely.
Okay. I personally think we will progress over 2 legs, but I'm not overly confident about tomorrow night. I think we will get a draw tomorrow on the first leg, but I think we'll do them at the Tottenham Stadium. That's just my opinion. I'm confident we will progress, but not necessarily tomorrow. Benny says Romero isn't half the player Ledley was. 80 grand a week, I'd play with 1 leg. Let's sell him, place our nuts on the line, the table for another defender. Yeah, look,
we're going to be looking better in defenders because we've got Van der Ven. Gray's a good backup. We've got Danso, and we've got this young kid coming in. I don't know what's his name.
Vuskovic or something, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got him coming in, and I'm sure they'll buy another one if Romero goes. So we're looking better in defence.
Big up, Steve D. Big up to you, Steve D. Yeah, look, and not only that, let's look. It's all right, everyone's saying he's a fantastic defender, but how many points has Romero cost us with bozo mistakes? Not just sending offs, but lack of concentration. I just don't think his head is in the club. That's my personal opinion. I get it if people disagree. That's how I feel. Luke says he wants Romero gone, paying the guy 80 grand a week to play for Argentina every 6 months. He needs to go. Romero's just using Spurs because he knows he can get away with it. Romero hated playing in the 3-4-3-3-5-2 that Conte played, but that is the system that suits him. Yeah, I definitely don't think he suits Ange's style of play, but then a lot of people would say nobody does. So Romero's the opposite of Modric back in the day. Oh, Modric. How much was Danso? I'd take 30 million from Romero if his attitude stays the same. Danso wasn't a lot of money, was he?
I think it was 20 odd, wasn't he? So was it 29 or something?
20.9 million pounds.
Oh, so I knew there was a 9 in there.
So I mean, that seems like so far. That seems like a good price. And yeah, Driller's right. We've got Ashley Phillips as well. Be careful. Yeah. Big up, Aaron. Good to see you, sir. I'm surprised you're talking to me, but I'll speak to you when you've done your lunch and we'll chat. If we lose 2-1, I'd be happy with the return leg. I don't see us losing, but I do see a draw. They're not mugs out, Mar. They beat Galatasaray. They're not absolutely useless. You're seeing how Chelsea are missing Thiago Silva. It's not easy to find great centre-backs. No, but you know what? I think we found one in Danso. I really do. Probably get 120 mil for Romero of Real Madrid. Well, they've said that they are keeping Saliba. Arsenal have said that Saliba's not going anywhere, so they will be probably looking for someone. Who knows? But I mean, if we sell Romero, I'd go out and try and get Guy.
Okay, let me tell you something. Right, if Real Madrid come in for Saliba, I'll be very surprised if he don't go.
No, they're not coming in for him. It's come out that Arsenal are it's not happening for whatever reason. Yeah. Apparently, this is another thing. Would you also sell Dragusin? Because he's not big great, is he?
No, but I kind of feel a bit sorry for him. He was thrown in right at the deep end when he didn't have time to bed himself in. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say at the minute, right? Because it's like a tipping balance. Is Ange going to be here or not? I think what happens at the end of this season is really important because we don't want to start get rid of these players and all of a sudden we have a bad start to the season, they sack Ange next season if Ange stays, and then they bring in a different type of manager. So
Yeah.
it's because of the way he plays football, Ange. It's very hard with the way it is at the minute. Is he going to be here or not?
Yeah, look, I can't see us selling both. But as Jim says, it's difficult because how long's Ange going to be here? I mean, we'll get onto Ange in a minute. Silva was a good leader also. Looks like Johnson and Bergvall start with Kulu out. Daniel says the golfing class between Dutch club football to English club football is not close. Look at last night. If we lose AZ over 2 legs, that's a sackable offence. I don't see us losing over 2 legs at all. But we'll see. Loan with an option to buy for 20, yeah. I think Danso's come in and done well. I completely
brilliant,
agree.
I think.
Let's see what Romero does now. He's back. I'll judge him after a few games playing alongside Danso. Big up.
I mean, look, he should never go to play for Argentina. He should say, no, I'll stay here, get myself in a better position to play for this club. I think it's outrageous if he plays for Argentina. I really do.
Yeah.
This happened before, didn't it? He was out for a couple of months and then come back and played for Argentina before he played for us.
Yep. What match did you watch? We started watching the Arsenal game. When it went 3-0, we turned over. And thank God we did, because what a match the Real Madrid derby was. What a match. Some of the goals. I mean, that goal by Brahim Diaz. Oh, my God. Talk about poetry in motion. What? And to see Modric out there still playing. I mean, he's incredible. But yeah, we watched that one. But I'm going to go on to the Champions League as well in a bit. Dragushin has played in all of our best victories this season. A very solid old school defender. Yeah, look,
I like him, Kate. You know that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be too quick to sell him. He's young as well, so he can be moulded.
Big up Chrysandro. Ange will be here for a while. Yeah, I think you're right. Dan, I said the same thing last night on the Irish Hotspur. I don't see him going anywhere. Afternoon, all nice to see you back, Jimbo. Has the Europa ever been so crucial, especially if the final is Spurs versus United? Unbelievably crucial. Smithy's in the house, says, look at Jimbo looking like he's got an Oxford top on, representing the boys. I always loved you, Jimbo. Oh, and hi, Auntie Kate. Big up, Smithy, but it is a Tottenham shirt. I can promise you that. He's got his cock on his shirt. Unfair to judge a player from one season. Finn says, Danso put in a solid 7 rating performances every week, which is exactly what we need. We have too many players that give 7 or 8 one week and then 4 or 5 the next. Consistency is needed. Yeah, I completely agree. United say via Amarin they aren't interested in what? I've missed something there. I think a lot of our problem is we hardly had a consistent starting 11. They haven't really been able to gel. Yeah, I think there's some truth in that. And Shem says Ange's system doesn't suit the players we have and doesn't use their skill set the way a manager should to get the best out of the team. Look, plenty of people agree with you there. But the team to face AZ Alkmaar, Jimbo, I think we both agree Vicario in goal.
Yeah.
I think he will start Pedro Porro. I don't know what you think. I think he'd give Gray.
He can't start Spence, can he? So it's got to be Porro.
Yeah, he can. Spence has been added to the squad.
Oh, has he been added now?
I think he'll start Spence on the other side.
Yeah.
But he could start Gray. But I don't know.
Well, no, I think in the middle here, stick with Danso and Gray.
See, I've gone for the back line. I've gone Vicario, and then I've gone Porro, Romero, Danso, and Spence to start those 4. So I haven't put Gray in there. I think he'll put Romero straight in. He's had an extra week's training, so I think he'll start him. Big up, Nick. Good to see you.
Right, Nick.
Madison and Spence must start, to be honest.
I think that's important.
I think Romero starts. So we've got Vic, Porro, Romero, Danso, Spence. Then in midfield, I've got Bergvall, Benny, and Madders. Any change, Sar?
No, not for me. I think that sounds good.
Yeah. And then for the front three, I have gone with Johnson, Son, and Odegaard.
That's fine. Johnson. It's got to be Johnson, isn't it? There's no one else to play over there.
I don't think he plays Timo. Please God, he doesn't. Oh no, Timo's been taken out of the squad, so he can't play. Thank God. So I think he's got to play Johnson.
Okay, Johnson,
Son, and Odegaard.
Yeah, I mean, it could go a few ways. You know what I would do? This is what I would do. He won't do it, not in a million years. But I would have Spence on the right. I'd have Udogie on the left. And I would push Porro up the wing and give him a goal.
That'd be nice.
Porro on the wing. And Tell's in there, isn't he?
I haven't started him, but I think he'll be on the bench. I don't think he'll start.
Well, I would have Tell in the middle, and I would put Sonny on the left wing.
I don't think Sonny works on the left anymore. I just don't
he
see.
did the other day against Ipswich. He was great.
Yeah, but that's one game.
Well, we know he can still play there.
Sontel Johnson says, I don't personally think he starts Solanke. He's a week behind Romero and so is Van der Ven, so I don't see him starting Solanke. I hope he gets on the bench, but
yeah, look, can I just say that Guy's made a good point. He's put get Gray involved in midfield. Yeah, if we're getting our centre backs back, right, he's got to start getting Gray integrated in that midfield somehow. Mm-hmm. You know, it's important because that's his natural position. And I mean, we've seen him play there once, haven't we? And he looked at assaults there. So I don't know if it's because he's been playing out of position for so long. But yeah, he needs to get him integrated. Maybe in the second half, bring him on and put him in there.
I mean, I do agree that Porro's a bit of a liability.
I think if Porro was pushed up as a winger, I think he would be fantastic.
Defend. We can all see that he can't defend.
Yeah, but we'll push him up as a winger, Kate. Right.
I just don't see him doing that in the Europa League when we're down to the last 16. I don't see him doing it. He should have done it. Yeah, I think we'd all like to see it. But look, big up, Jess. Good to see you, my lovely. Lovely to have you on yesterday. Nick says Brennan, Odegaard, and Tell drop that fraud Sonny. Big up, Destiny. Hope everything's all right. Yeah, might see you later. Amarim came out and said the Europa Cup is not the main focus for United. That's fine with me, but not sure if I believe it. Thing is, Finn, if it isn't that, there's nothing else.
Well, he said his main focus is getting this team into a position where they can fight for the Premier League. That's his focus.
That's nonsense, because if they get Europa League and win it, they get in the Champions League, and that's what everybody wants.
They want to win it, but that's what he said his focus is. What managers say and what they do are two different things, isn't it?
Yeah. Son, Tell, Odegaard with Johnson as super sub. Look, I prefer Johnson as a sub.
Nick, don't call Sonny a fraud, please. He's been a great servant for our club, and he's getting to a stage where he's getting over the hill. But the guy's definitely not a fraud.
No, I agree. I don't think he's a fraud. I think that's the wrong word.
Have some respect, Nicholas.
Put some respect on Sonny's name. I do prefer Johnson as a sub. I just don't know whether he'll start Tell. He may do. I'm just thinking out loud. I also wouldn't be surprised if Romero starts on the bench and Gray starts in the back. But
if he doesn't put Johnson on the wing, Kulu's out. Who goes on the wing?
There's
no one, is there?
No.
Is there anyone?
No. I never know how to say it. Eccleston says Sonny left wing, but only because he can't finish as a striker anymore. Tell in a Sheringham role and Johnson as striker. Why not try it? Sure, try it, but don't try it for this game. This is probably the most important game of our season. We have got to get this Europa League. Oh, we got Mikey Moore, as Lisa said. We have got Mikey Moore.
But yeah, but don't Mikey Moore play on the left?
Yeah, but I think he can play on both sides. I'm not sure. Jed Spence is a much better player than Porro, but Porro's a good crosser. So 4-4-2, Jed Spence right back, Porro right wing. Yeah, I mean that's what we love.
I've been saying it since I've seen him play. I said he looks like a winger to me.
Yeah. I will call him a fraud. United.
You're a fraud, Nick. You're the problem.
Wish Johnson was more like Odegaard, always tried to take his man on, whereas Johnson bottles it. I mean, we saw Odegaard on his debut, Jim, and he did look really impressive.
We was there, weren't we? We was
Yeah.
there and watched him play his first game, and he did look. He looked like he was going to fit into this team.
Yeah. Big up, David. Big up, Lisa Chica. She's been a while, work schedule changed, and I missed my favourite streams, but I'm off today. Well, lovely to see you. I wasn't planning on doing a show today, but I've got 2 shows tomorrow, and neither are on my channel, so I thought I'd better show my face today and do a show. Yeah, I know people absolutely slating Sonny. It's outrageous.
Yeah, but look, you've got to put it in perspective, right? He deserves to take some criticism because he's not played well this season, right? He's had flashes, but we can't call him a fraud, right? Because he's not a fraud. He's been a fantastic servant to this club and deserves respect. But if they sell him at the end of the season, are any Spurs fans really going to have a meltdown? I don't think so. But he's definitely not a fraud.
No.
He's playing in a team now that's done bad, and he's hit over his thing. What is he, 32 or 33? And he's slowed down. He's not as good as he was. And it's just football. What happens to some players? Some can play up to 35 and still play well, but he seems to have lost a bit of that mojo, doesn't he? But he's definitely not fraud.
Diamond Dane. Yeah, of course, we've got Dane Scarlett and we've got Mikey Moore that we could use. Benny says, don't be surprised if United win the Europa League. They've had crap teams and won nothing and won things before. Yes, they're diabolical, but you never know. This is the thing with Ten Hag. Yeah. Even though they were shit, he still managed to win a couple of FA Cups.
We won a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup.
But I don't think they'd get past Real Sociedad, if you want to know the truth. Again, with the managers and players, would Son be disbanded under a different manager and style of play? I think Sonny needs to be up front with another striker, but Ange isn't going to play that way. We are getting kicked out by Sociedad, says Paige. Big up, Robbie. Hope you're well. Any team that's in the tournament at this stage can win it, of course. If you're in it, you can win it. It's as easy as that. Moore is poor when playing on the right-hand side. Whatever team he picks, it's on the players to be up for this. It is for us this season. Yes, this is true. Tell in a Sheringham role, what's that guy smoking? You have to actually have IQ to play the Sheringham role. Where's Tell's football IQ? I think you're very, very harsh on Tell. He's a 19-year-old and he's got huge potential. He's had very little game time this year. He's only played 458 minutes in Germany and he's only played a few games for us. Plus, he scored 1 goal in the 299 minutes that he played.
I remember Solly starting terrible.
And Bale. I'm not saying that he's going to be anywhere near as good as these, but I think you've got to take into account that this guy is only 19 and only just settling into a whole new league, a whole new team. Let's just wait and see what this guy can do. Big up our man, Danny Kiriakou. Hope you're well, my lovely. Good to see you. Afternoon as well to Colin. Billy says, we'll absolutely smash AZ Outwell.
Go on, Billy.
Robbie says, it's not unlucky we've got all these injuries. When you look at Romero and VDB being rushed back, I'm less sympathetic. Look at our running stats. He's overworked this squad. Look, I think there's an argument for that.
Well, there's a massive argument for that, Kate, because
you
can't say Ange has overworked the squad, right? If you're doing well in competitions, you get more games, right? And it's just what happens. You can't help it. We got through to semi-final Carabao Cup, more games. We got through to whatever stage it was in the FA Cup, a few rounds. We're through in the European Cup. And when it comes to Van der Ven and Romero, the medical team told him that they was okay to play, and they said they were okay to play. I mean, he's the manager. He's not the medical man, is he? He
No.
admits on there, he knows, don't ask me about medical stuff because I haven't got a clue. So you can't put that down to Ange. If he's told they're fit and ready to play, and they say they're fit and ready to play,
Yeah.
and then he plays them. Everything gets blamed on Ange. You know, he's the manager, and you can blame things on him. Of course, you can tactics, subs. You know, when he does the subs and how he does the subs, but you can't put medical stuff on him.
Yeah. Selling a 33-year-old at the end of the season is one thing, but no way is a fraud. No, I agree. Sonny deserves criticism, but also praise for all the work he's put in over the years. I would love Sonny at Bayern.
Look, the thing is, go on.
I'd love to see him go to Bayern and hook back up with Kane. I really would.
I mean, if he goes to Bayern, he'll probably have another good two or three seasons, you know. But the Premiership's a different animal, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, as well, as who said it to me? Was I talking to? It might have been Dave. That if he goes to Bayern, Sonny, it'll be a case of that will offset the rest of the Kane money. So basically, we get Tell for nothing because they get Sonny. And do you see what I mean? It would all work out in that way. But look, let's wait and see. I love Sonny, but I do also agree that
I think he's going to end up at Bayern, Kate. I do.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just sending a text. I wouldn't mind seeing Tell playing as a left winger like he did at Bayern. It's his natural position and where he seems to play his best football. Yeah. Son has been class for us, but in my opinion, he's hugely on decline. I will cash in on him this summer, but he's not top of the list for players we need to sell ASAP. Yeah, much love to Jess. 10 years, no trophy, says Guy. It's depressing. Kane, Sonny, make them great, just not under our eyes. Just not under our eyes. Sad. I mean, it is sad when we've got players like Kane and Sonny that haven't won anything at the club because they so deserve to have won something. But what can we do? Yes, but we've got that other new Korean coming through. Hoik, is it? So, you know, there'll be someone else to cheer for. Athelston says, reference to my comments, Sonny left wing, but only because he can't finish. Okay, then what would you do? Look, I'd start Sonny in the middle and I'd have Johnson and Odebear. And then if Sonny isn't performing, I'd get Tell on. That's what I would do. I think this miss with Kulu is it couldn't have come at a worse time. I just think this is the pinnacle of our season. Everything rides on this, including Ange Postecoglou's future. Although, in fact, I don't think it does ride on this. I'm going to actually say that. I think whether we win or lose this game, whether we win or lose the Europa League, this guy isn't going anywhere. But, yeah, that's what I would do personally. Robbie says, hope you're feeling better, Jimbo.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better, thanks. Not 100%, but I'm a lot better than yesterday.
David says, it's not the time to slag off Sonny. Son and Kane at the club for 10 years and no trophy. That's an indictment on Levy's time at this club. Yeah. Do you know what as well? I was watching Real Madrid last night and I was watching Modric and I was thinking, when you think back, we have Modric, Bale, Kane, Son, Toby, Jan. We have had some sensational players at our club. Yeah. That team, how we didn't win anything is just, it baffles me to this day. It really does. But we didn't win anything and that's how it is. Ian Barron says, how many football fans swimp and save to go see the club they love and support also go when they're not well? The modern day footballer is such a snowflake. Yeah, I would agree with you.
I agree with that. Yeah.
19 has nothing to do with it. Tell is not a number 9. No, he probably isn't a number 9. But what I'm saying is you can't crucify this guy just yet. He's only been here 5 minutes and he is only 19. Big up, Matt. Great win for Arsenal last night. Absolutely didn't see that coming.
Well, it wasn't a great win, Kate. It wasn't. Look. Atletico scored a goal off the planet, right? And Arsenal got 7 lucky goals.
Atletico, don't you mean PSV?
Sorry, PSV. And Arsenal got 7 lucky goals.
I was saying they've got no strike force. I don't think any Arsenal fan in their wildest dreams would have seen that.
They were lucky.
Unbelievable win. that from Arsenal, which gets them through to the next round, you would think, unless there's some mad crazy thing happens at the Emirates. But absolutely unbelievable result for you guys, and it played really well. Arteta got his spot on from the off. From the minute that whistle went, they looked bang on it, but we turned it off after 3-0 because it was too depressing. It went 3-1 and we was like, oh, this has got a chance. And next thing I looked, it was 5-1. And I was like, no. Great to see Jimbo back, says Matt. Great to have you on yesterday, Matt. Kate, he's got 4 months to earn a Spurs contract. We don't have time. This ain't a permanent deal. He needs to play well. Yeah, I know, but I'm sure he's trying his best. But he has got to adapt to the system. I'm sorry, I'm not as harsh as
the Premier League. And the
Premier League, the pace of it, the physicality of it. It's completely different to the Bundesliga, let's be fair. Never listen to a Wickham boy that idolises the shittest right back Tottenham has ever had in Royale. It's common sense you don't start them both at the same time after having long spells in the treatment room. Yeah. Bobby says, of course, a few of them are unlucky for us, but when the whole team starts dropping like flies and he doesn't adapt to try and prevent more injuries, I can't understand it. Teams like Liverpool have been in all competitions yet barely have any injuries. Then look at their running stats and how Slot has managed the squad. I think Liverpool have got a far stronger and wider squad than we have, so rotation's been far easier for Arne Slot.
It's also okay. You can't compare one team to another team. Different players, you know. You just can't do it. So some teams are just unlucky and get quite a few injuries. We're not the only club. There's other clubs that get quite a few injuries. It's just I don't think it's the system. I don't. I think it's they're professional footballers, play for a Premier League club earning thousands and thousands a week. They should be fit enough to be able to handle whatever managers in there and whatever systems in there. And if they can't play the system, then put in a transfer. You know, I think that if they've played under one manager a different way, they have to learn to adapt under another manager. It's just the way football is. And I can't put the injuries on him. I can't. You know, it's injuries are injuries. They happen. You know, and there's a load that's going to disagree with me. I understand that. But I think if they're professional athletes, right, they should be able to handle whatever manager's in there and whatever system he plays.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all people suit that system because they don't. But if they can't play in the system and they don't want to be there, put in a transfer request.
Shem says, whose fault is it, Sir Man Flu, that now injured players are coming back? Mikey Moore's disappeared. He was one of the best players while they were all injured.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Mikey Moore, have we?
No, and you know, this funny thing, he's deleted a load of his stuff off his social media, like his scoring his goal for Spurs. And
when was the last time he played?
I get the impression he's not a happy bunny at all at Spurs, and I don't really blame him. It's like when Spence gets used, if they just suddenly drop Spence, do you know, I know it's football, but I can just see us
look, Mikey Moore, there's a couple of times he's played that I think he stood out and played well, but I mean, we haven't really seen enough of him, have we?
No.
I mean, it's so hard to judge him, and you're right, maybe, as he's deleted all his social media of Tottenham, has he?
A lot of it, yeah. Where are we? I've lost where we was. Yeah, Sonny's already played in Germany. Tell swap with Sonny would be a good thing. Tell looks like he has potential. That's how I see it. Big out beyond 72. Lies, Sonny is here for life. Ben says, I'm not the biggest fan of Tell and wouldn't take him for next season. There are better players in the Premier League that would fit our squad.
Yeah, but let's give him a chance at least, you know.
Yeah.
He's a 19-year-old that's coming from the Bundesliga, and I've seen a lot of people, reputable people in football, say that he's the real deal.
Yeah. Just listen to Van der Vaart, oh my heart, on TalkSport saying how he loved playing for Spurs more than any other club he played for. What a player he was. I love him.
He was Kate's favourite player at the time, yeah.
I love him. Mickey's trying to get an evening with Van der Vaart where he goes and answers questions. And I've asked him to make sure that he lets us know because, oh my God, to meet Van der Vaart, I think I might wet my knickers. For me, Ben, it'll be based on what he does from now to the end of the season. Yeah, agree. It's depressing thinking of Sonny and Kane being a Bayern and we get tell nothing against the player, but still, yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Kate is Yang Min Huik. So I was kind of right. I said Huik.
I think that we as fans should give Tell the benefit of the doubt at the minute because he's just arrived and he's young, and judge him after he's played a few more games because he could turn out to be a world beater like Bow was. Bow was terrible, wasn't he? I mean,
we couldn't get a win, could we? When he started
20 odd games, it was, and Sonny his first season, he was ready to leave, wasn't he? After his first season.
I remember looking at team sheets and going, for Christ's sake, when is he going to drop this Bale guy? Every time he starts him, we lose. And then all of a sudden, something clicks and this guy emerged. Yeah. He just isn't that great for the price they want to write off from the Kane deal, says Ben. And Daniel says, thank you, Ben. Before people think I've got an agenda, age or not, he's got 4 months to earn a Spurs deal and he's done sweet FA. Harsh.
Yeah, let's you've got to put everything in perspective, and you just think you stick him out there and he's going to start smashing in goals left, right, and centre, right? He was another one like Jagusin. He was thrown into a team when we was in an absolute terrible position and we weren't clicking at all, right? Let's see when we get our players back and we start picking up some more wins and he's in there. Let's see how he does then.
Big up, with a super chat. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Robbie says, so far, I'd agree with you, Ben, but he has only signed a month ago. If he's still pushing like this come May, then no chance we should sign him. Yeah, give him a chance. That's all I'm saying. I think he's got huge potential, and I just think it's too early to say he's not good enough and he's this and he's that. It's not an agenda. You're seeing it through your eyes, and I'm seeing similar things. I don't understand what he offers as a starting centre forward.
Not yet, Ben. Not yet. Give him time, and he might do.
So, Kate, you're admitting you don't have faith in Sonny as being as a striker. So, hypothetically, why pick a player in a position he's underperforming in? Because unless Solanke is fit, I don't know if I've got anyone else to start. And Sonny, although I haven't got faith in him, he does have the ability to score from nothing and turn it on a sixpence. Obviously, Richarlison's out. Solanke, we're not sure what situation he's going to be in. So that's why. And he's the captain.
A European game might suit Tell better as well.
Yeah.
And you got to think of the other thing. If every time after a month, right, a player weren't doing well, you got rid of him, you'd be getting rid of most of the players.
Yeah. 7 goals, class, Jimbo. Lucky Jammy gets.
Yeah. Well, I think they were 7 lucky goals.
Arsenal's win is irrelevant. They'll get smashed by Real. I think whether they get smashed, whether they get Real or Atletico Madrid, they lose because those two teams look levels above. I predicted 7-0. Yeah, I'm sure you did. They could have scored 10. You're right. They could have scored 10. Based on your rationale, it would be logical to play out top score in a striker position, wouldn't it? AKA Johnson. I just don't think he will do that for this game. I'm not saying it's illogical. I just don't think he'll do it because it's so much on this game.
Well, I wonder if he puts Johnson as the forward, which I don't think is a terrible idea. Who's he going to put on the wing? That's all I'm thinking. I can't think of anyone who can go over there with Kulu out. But I would personally, I just said it, I'd have Porro up there.
Imagine being able to retire in your 30s. Nowadays, a lot of these young men can't cope with it. Money's not everything. Do you know what? I was looking at Jack Grealish. He was up in Sunderland in the working men's club, drinking with the public, but being filmed and photographed and videoed coming out of the pub, barely being able to stand up. This is a guy that career, let's be fair, since he left Villa has gone like that. He might have won titles and what have you, but actually as a single player, He's never lived up to the price tag. And I just think I get real Dele Alli vibes from Jack Grealish, and I just don't see him ever reviving his career over here. I don't know what you think, Jim, but I get it. Players have got downtime. They're allowed to go out and get pissed if they want. But it doesn't look good the day before you go back to training and you're wobbling about, can't stand up.
Well, to me, I mean, if you're a professional athlete, you just don't do that there. That's what I think. You don't see tennis players doing it there.
You don't see Cristiano Ronaldo doing it.
Yeah, and you don't see these Formula One racers doing it. You never see pictures of them walking out of pubs pissed. You know, look, there's always going to be the few in there. And at the end of the day, the guy is a fantastic footballer. I mean, you can't take that away. I mean, the guy is a real good footballer. But obviously, it's not. It's the centre of his world if he's doing
that. PSV have had one of the worst drop-offs in form in modern history. Only a few weeks ago, they were 6 points clear. They now trail Ajax by 8. Yeah, there is that. Arsenal look good, but it's one game. Let's see when they come up against Madrid. So
Arsenal do this game. They throw in a game where they smash someone, and then they go back on a downward spiral again. They done it a little while ago. They smashed someone, didn't they? 6 or 7 or 5 or so, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then they lose to West Ham and draw to Forest.
I tripped over the stretcher earlier. I fucking blamed Ange. Wanieri is the player we hype Mikey Moore up to be right now. For me, looks like he's got potential, but not sure you can judge him yet. I just, you know what? I've got to say, how Lewis Skelly stayed on the pitch, for me, it was an absolute disgrace.
It was lucky.
Very lucky. They all said if he's not on a yellow, he gets booked. So why does he not get booked? Yeah, look, Matt, I've heard this, that there's stuff happening with Mikey Moore that he could possibly go. I mean, I think there'd be an absolute outcry if it happens. But I have heard this. Keep them knickers dry, Kate. Van der Vaart is single-handedly the reason I'm a Spurs fan. He was so beautiful as well to look at. Oh, a night with Van der Vaart means Jim going down the stairs again the night before. This is a mistake you Spurs fan made. Arsenal and Spurs have different academy structures and integration plans. Wanieri's integration has been planned from day one of Arteta joining. Look, I think we've got real issues bringing the academy players in, and buying all these youngsters is only going to be a kick in the teeth for the youngsters that we've already got. My missus left me 20 years ago. It was Ange's fault. Rafael van der Vaart was a class act. Shame we couldn't keep him, and Modric for maybe one more season. Jack Grealish was cooked by Pep. I'd rather have Jack Grealish's honours as a Jack the Lad type player than Son's as a clean living player. Yeah, I'm just trying to make a point that his career is on the
to do with honours. It's nothing to do with honours, Joey. It's to do with we're talking about his capability as a footballer and the way he conducts himself off the pitch. It's nothing to do with honours. It's just he's got all the ability in the world, but he's not as bad as Gaza, but he goes down that line sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah. I'd like to congratulate Arsenal on winning the Champions League last night. Can you imagine if they actually win it? Oh my God, I can't even bear to think about it. It makes me feel physically like I'm going to puke. I think Jimbo has a good few seasons left in him. Why not play him up front and Tell on the left? Going off Jimbo.
I'm too much of a fat bastard now.
Yeah, but it might go in off your belly. Arsenal might do good against Madrid because they can't defend, and Real Madrid's defence is not the greatest. Oh, because they can defend, sorry. Miles was very lucky. He had so much passion for the game and for the club he plays for, but sometimes the occasion gets the better of him. It's something he needs to improve and will do. Yeah, he does. It's very hot-headed. It is very hot-headed. Thing is, Sol, you don't buy strikers. What are you talking about? It's like Arsenal are allergic to strikers. You never buy them. But look, last night, obviously Arsenal won 7-1. We won't go into too much about that because we all know what happened. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah. But Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid, Jim. What a game. What an absolute
it was a good game to watch. It was a good game to watch. I enjoyed it. I was convinced it was going to end up 2-2. But
yeah.
it didn't. It could have gone 3-1. You know, Mbappe done that crossing to Vinicius Junior, and it was a bad cross. If he'd have got that cross right, it would have been 3-1. But they're two good teams, aren't they? And I think Arsenal's got a real problem next round. Playing one of them, either one of them.
I don't know. Angus and Matt will probably be able to tell me more, but I don't know whether you're going to have any of your players back for the next round against one of the Madrid teams. Let me know. Big up Angus says, big up all. Did not expect that last night. Pisses me off why we can't play that way more often. Sunday we beat the Manx. Come on, you Gunners. What I will say, Angus, is there's a bit of a difference to playing certain teams in the Premier League than to PSV. But I'm not taking anything away from you because you were brilliant last night. So we'll see. It's really unusual. Cakes Miles was never like that in his youth days, never had an issue like this. So hopefully he's just part of developing as a young defender. I do think Arsenal have got a bit of a disciplinary issue, though.
Terrible one.
I think they've got a real issues with the discipline within the squad. I've said it last season. I've said it this season. There's something not great there. We should have got Alvarez instead of Solanke. I like Solanke, and I think when he comes back, we realise how much we've missed him. Martinez should be back, and Saka could be back. Okay, so that's a big plus. If Saka's back, it's a massive plus. Spence should be ahead of, Mars Lewis Skelly. Look, Spence is playing unbelievably at the minute. Angus, but now we're through to the quarters. We should have some players back by April the 8th. The discipline comes from the players' arrogance, just like the majority of their fan base. Well, Joey, I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it. Why spend time integrating players like Mikey Moore into the first team to then send them out on loan the next season? That would be a nonsensical move, in my opinion. Good enough is old enough. Yeah, I hear you, and I think the way Mikey Moore has just been kind of forgotten about is a disgrace, to be fair. So having Gabby and B back will be absolutely massive. Gabby and B back. I don't know who B is. Spence might start as a right back as he's right-footed. Archie Gray is better than Miles Lewis Skelly. I'll say it as I say it, I'm never afraid. I mean, Jimbo, does Ange Postecoglou's future hinge on him winning the Europa League, in your opinion?
I haven't got a bloody clue, because I expected him to be sacked ages ago, and he wasn't. When we went from that run of really bad games, losing, the team looked disorganised. He was like a rabbit in the headlights on the sideline. And every game I kept saying to you, if we lose the next one, he's got to get sacked. And then we lost it. And I went, if he loses the next one, he's got to get sacked. We lost it. He never got sacked. So I haven't got a clue, darling. I don't know what the plan is, what Levy's got in his head. It's either they've got someone lined up for the end of the season, so they ain't going to rock the boat, just leave it as it is till the end of the season, and he's got someone lined up to bring in, or they're going to stick with the 4-year plan with him and give him the opportunity and spend some money and give him the players. But it's going to go one way or the other. But I haven't got a clue what way it's going to go. Go on.
I have put a poll in the chat asking that. I mean, I personally...
The poll should be not what you want to happen, what you think will happen.
That's what the poll is, not what you want, what you think. I mean, I said something on Dave's yesterday, and Jim, I know you won't like what I'm going to say. I said that even if we win the Europa League, I don't want to see Ange managing us next season, because I can't cope with another Premier League season.
You can't sack a manager that's won us our first trophy in 17 years. It just would be, it don't make sense to me. right? If he wins us a trophy, right, he should be given another season, and providing they give him the tools that he wants. But you can't win a trophy and then the first trophy. It's not like we win trophies every year. If he was winning trophies every year with different managers, it's different, right? But if he wins us the Europa League and they sack him, to me, it's a travesty. Honestly, it is. But look, everyone's going to have their own opinion on it. That's my opinion. If we'd won a trophy last year and we'd won a trophy the year before and the year before that, and he won a trophy and they sacked him, I'd think, well, fair enough. But if he wins us a trophy, I think it's 17 years, isn't it? He can't get sacked, Kate.
But he can.
Well, he can, but I just think it would be wrong. You know, if you're gonna, I just think it's wrong if you sack him after winning a trophy, especially a European Cup, because to me it's the second biggest trophy or the third biggest trophy to win after the
Big up
Premier League.
Dog, who says Ange out. I don't think he has what it takes. Look, I've been a real advocate for Ange Postecoglou this year, and if he wins the trophy of the Europa League, I'll be absolutely delighted, and no doubt will tell him I love him and may even get a tattoo of him. But do I want to see him manage us next year? No, I don't. I don't like the division in the fan base that he causes. I don't like the fact that we get injuries left, right, and centre. I don't think that the system works in the Premier League. I don't enjoy watching us play anymore. That's 4 reasons. I think it's to win a European trophy.
The system can work if you've got the right players.
Yeah, but if the system, the only way I personally think if Ange Postecoglou walks into Man City or walks into Liverpool, they still don't win the league with that system. It's too open. And if that's true, let's suppose you're exactly right. And if you've got the right players, the system works. Tottenham are not the team that are going to buy those players that are the best in those positions to get us to play in that system perfectly.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So it's a win.
You know what I've learned, Kate, over the years? I've learned, right, not to get frustrated with it, not to scream and shout and melt down about it. Because I used to when I was younger and I had my season ticket and I went every single game. I went to away games. I used to cry myself to sleep some games, right? It used to really affect me, but I've learned I can't do anything about it. So it's all right to talk about it and give your opinion, but melting down over it don't make a slight bit of difference what's going to happen. So if we win it and he stays or he goes, it's out of our hands.
Yeah.
You know,
of course it is.
I don't really give it much thought, if you want to know the truth, until you ask me the question.
Big up to Mundo with another super chat saying, but who do we get? I have no idea. A lot of people saying Iriola. Yeah, they're playing brilliant. Bournemouth, better manager that's never actually won anything, and Ange has won everywhere he's gone. A lot of people are saying the likes of Thomas Frank. I literally, if someone said to me, you know, Angie's going, who do you want? I don't think Poch comes back. I literally have no clue who I want. Realistically, who would come to us? I just don't know who it'd be.
There's a lot of managers that would come to us, Kate. 2 reasons, right? One, because if it's the right manager, Levy will pay the money. We've seen that, right, and pay him a really top wage. And the other reason is that if say we don't win the European Cup, a manager that comes in will always think he's the manager that's going to win us a cup and become a hero. They all think they're coming and do well. So it is a club that there is managers that will look at it and think this is a good club to go to, right? And if they're a top manager, they get paid a top wage. You know that. I mean, look, he's been in all these lower leagues, Ange, and he's still making 5 million a year. What was Conte on? He was on a massive wage, wasn't he?
About 15 million a year or so.
Yeah, so he will pay the wages. I think he was the highest paid, wasn't he, in the Premiership at the time? Correct me, someone, if I'm wrong, but I'm sure he was. But
no, Simeone's always been the highest paid manager.
No, in the league, in the Premiership.
Oh, in the Premier League, yeah, I think you're right.
And so the managers will come here and they will believe that they're good enough to win trophies here.
Yeah. Get the PSV manager, Kate, might be available soon. That's the thing. I want a manager who's given enough time and money to get the players he wants, not the players the club wants, and to just let him get on with it. Look, I think 2 seasons for me, with the amount of money that Ange Postecoglou has been given, looking at it now, obviously I've been very pro Ange, and people can call me a flip-flop and people can call me whatever they like, because I don't give a shit if people think my opinion changes, because it does, because that's life.
Your opinion changes with football because it's football. Football's up and down. You know, I've said this to you 1,000 times, Kate. I don't really give it to other fans, you know that, because look at Arsenal. We finished in front of Arsenal 4 or 5 years in a row. But I always said to you, they are a bigger club than us, so they will be back and they will overtake us again. It was just inevitable, right? Look at Man United. They've had, like, is it 10 years now in the doldrums? And it might carry on for another 5 years, but they won't stay there. I'll tell you that now. They're too big, you know, and they will get back up there. And that's the thing about football. One week you can be smashing someone 5-0, and then you might lose 5 on a row, you know, and it's very unpredictable, football. Look at City now.
When it comes to managers, right, I look at Ange. He's had two full seasons he will have had. And he's had a hell of a lot of money, far more than the likes of Conte or Jose or probably even Poch ever got. But I don't see an improvement in the squad. I don't see an improvement in the way we're playing. I don't see an improvement in the results. I don't see us being any more competitive than we were 2 years prior to him coming in. And that is the thing. I get a rebuild. I get it. And I just think with the squad that we've not got a terrible squad. We've not got a bad team. You know, we've got a very good team. All right, people like Box Office will say it's bang average. I don't think it's bang average. I don't think it's elite. I think it's a good team, and a good team that's good enough to finish in the top half of the table.
Yeah, definitely. In the top 6. But look, you've got to put everything in perspective, right? People can jump on the bandwagon, and because we've had a really bad run, you know, and scream and shout and fucking get him out, get this player out. But you've got to look at everything in perspective. He took over a club, right, and we was in such disarray, it was unbelievable. We had players here that were just stealing a living, and I'm not talking one, I'm talking a lot of players. He's had to clear everybody out, right, that's been stealing a living, and he's had to bring other players in, right. And some of these players haven't gelled straight away. And we've had a horrendous run of injuries, right? And I know all teams get injuries, but I'm not worried about other teams. I'm worried about us, right? We've had a horrendous run of injuries, and he's had to mismatch this team for so many games. It's unbelievable, right? And some of the players do not suit his system. I agree with that. But you've got to look at the overall, the overall of everything to do with it. He's only been here 18 months. Right, and he's had to change a lot of stuff, and he's had a lot of bad run with stuff with injuries, and I just think you can't just put everything down on him, right? And I'm not saying he ain't made mistakes. I'm not saying that for 1 minute. He's made some terrible mistakes with starting lineups and subs, but you can't just stick everything on him, right, and say he's had 350 million. He's had to use that sparingly as well because of how many players we've had to change, you know, as well, get rid of and bring in. So he's had to use it sparingly. It's not like he could go and buy a team full of £100 million players. He couldn't. He's had to use it wisely.
Look, I've said before that we judge managers when they've had Harry Kane and he's bailed us out a load, and that's the context that people don't take into consideration, right? So I get that, but people forget Ange overachieved last season from where we were. But the drop off this season has been unbelievable, and I know
you can make excuses or reasons for that.
But even when we had our full team, before all these injuries, the form was terrible.
Right.
So we can't just say, well, we have had loads of injuries.
Not all the form, Kate. It wasn't all terrible. We had some real good wins in there and all.
But we've had some, I mean, losing. We was there when we lost to Ipswich, for God's sake.
I know, darling. I know
we
that.
limped out of both cups, and we were pathetic. pathetic.
Yeah, but it's not all been like that. It's not all been terrible. We've had some really good wins in, you know. And if you're going to bring a manager in, you're going to give him a chance. Give him a chance. Right, as soon as things start going bad, don't just say, right, let's sack him and bring someone else in. We've been doing that for 24 years and it ain't worked.
I agree. I think that this team needs a stable foundation and some consistency and stability. I just don't see the point of sticking. I don't see where we're going with Ange. I don't see it at all. I can't see where we're going. Someone just asked what Ange ball is, and I haven't got a clue what the answer is.
Yeah, but they he didn't say I play Ange ball. They stuck that on him, right? The media. But Matt just said you can use that for Arteta. You can use that for Arteta, but Arteta's been there 5 or 6 years, Matt. That's the difference. Look, I'm not saying I want Ange to stay. Well, I don't think I'm making this big speech sticking up for Ange. What I'm saying is you got to put everything in perspective, Kate, right? And once we get a settled squad and you get some really good backup players, right, which we're starting to see them come back now in the summer, there have another clear out of a few players and bring in some more players and see where we go from there. But look, if they sack him, and they bring someone else in, and then the project starts again, hopefully with a better squad.
Big up, Jimbo. I'll ask you one question, mate. Even before these injuries, did Ange even rotate his squad enough to give you hope that he will rotate more? Now, since the injuries, he's not giving us any hope.
Yeah, look, Daniel, what I'll say there, right, is I say he didn't rotate enough, but we didn't really have the backup players, did we, that are going to win games against big clubs. That's what you got to think of. I think more so now because a lot of the players that were on the bench have started getting more time, and obviously because we've had injuries. So I think maybe the backups will be a bit better now, but we still need to get some deadwood out and get some more players in. But I just think that I think a lot of people are too harsh, right, with their criticisms, right, when you've got to look at an overall picture of something, you know. That's what I think personally.
Big up, Chris Peters. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Ange himself said he will continue to play how he wants, even if we only have 5 men. How does he want to play?
Well, he plays the high line attacking football. We all know that, you know. And look, I'll be the first one to say it. There's some games you need to take a step back a bit and be like 10 yards back. But we have seen him do that as well. And when he has done it, we've done well.
Big up Moondog with another super chat. Says, from what I've seen, we've gone backwards. Look, I think it's hard to disagree with that. Guy Dunn says, wait a minute, Kate. When it was the start of the other season and we won 10 out of 10, we were winning the league. First of all, I never said we were winning the league, ever.
I did.
Never even crossed my mind for a second. And 10 games gets you nowhere.
I know, but what he's saying is that the tactics did work at the time, right?
Yeah, because they were new and no one was expecting us to play that way.
They're not new, Kate. Other teams have used them. We're not the first team to use them. Yeah, and Tottenham haven't really got the right players to keep playing that in every single game. He needs to divert a bit with his tactics, you know. And if he doesn't, he's going to get the sack, isn't he? Simple as that.
This would be Ange's 3rd season. He'll probably get another 200 mil. Arteta's 3rd season was challenging for the title and achieving the top 4. Are you confident Ange achieves that next season?
It's hard to say. It depends who comes in, you know. And look, Matt, you spent a lot of money as well and bought in some really good players. So I mean, you spent 100 million on one player.
Yeah.
So it's par for the course. But I don't put myself up against teams like you because your structure, the way you work, is different to us. That's why I don't worry about other teams when they say Bournemouth has had a lot of injuries. Well, yeah, but we're a different team to them with a different squad, different players. So it's very hard to compare, right? You can't compare one team to another, you know, in that sense.
I've said it before, we have to look at recruitment. Liverpool spend less, yet get better players. Yeah, but they can attract better players.
Yeah, they attract better players. But look, I will say, I'll be the first one to say, I think our scouting system's one of the worst in the Premier League. I really do. I think our scouting system's terrible.
I mean, Paige, with you sitting with Amorim, I mean, I said I think it's absolutely ludicrous to even talk about sacking this guy when he's only been there 3 months or whatever it is. If you're sitting where we are, 18 months down the line, and you're where we are you going to be Amorim out, or are you going to say, look, he's rebuilding? Like, imagine the roles are reversed. Just tell me how you see it as someone looking from the outside in. Peter says, I want out for one reason, see how long it takes us to hand out the next manager.
Yeah, but that's not Peter. Look, for me, that's not a reason to want him out, because I want my club to do well.
Yeah.
I'd rather Ange was here and we was kicking ass. If that happened or not, I don't know. But just to say you want him out to get another manager in to see how long it takes to hound them out, I can tell you how long, as soon as we start doing bad. So you don't need it to happen I can tell you exactly how long.
Bring in Simeone, Ancelotti, whoever, they will have the same issues. Kate, you ain't that delusional. What have I said? Let me know. Yeah, and Ange doesn't win in his third season. You can't expect Ange to say, the players I've got here are crap and the signings I'm giving are not to my standards. The chairman's not wanting to move in that direction. I want to be moving. Yeah, cool. So that's what I always say when
he's going to get the sack, isn't he? Like Conte did.
Yeah. I thought we would get top 4 this year. To be 13th at the business end is diabolical. And
yeah, but look, Ben, you've got to take it in perspective what's happened at the club, right? I understand what you're saying. It's terrible we're in 13th position, but we've had a lot of injuries, right? Be it his fault, be it whatever fault, right? I mean, everyone's got their own opinions on that, but he's had a lot of injuries. He's only had so much he can deal with, right? And he's had to stick a lot of youngsters in the deep end. We brought Jacuz in, right? He never even had time to bed in, and he was playing, right? He was probably our number one defender. You know, there's been a lot to deal with. We've lost your doggy. What's his name? Solanke. Madders was injured at a crucial time. Right,
big up, Paddy. Good to see you. I'll join mid-season, Billy. Ange signed Werner twice. That's twice he should have been sacked.
Yeah, look, that's a terrible signing, Joey, 100%. But was it Ange? I don't know. He says it was him because he says he'd take the flak for everything. But was it him? Did he really want Werner? I don't know. I can't see how he would have wanted him. Maybe he was fourth down the line, right, and they couldn't get the first 3. I don't know, but that he's right. That was a terrible signing.
Big up, Guy Thompson. Thank you for the very generous super chat. Says, I know Ange Ball. It's a double vertical diamond with lots of overlaps and transitions. It's tiki-taka on steroids, but requires a lot of rotation within those diamonds. I want trophies again. I want trophies too, Guy. But is Ange the one to take us forward for those trophies, Guy? What do you think? But thank you very much for the super chat. Very, very, very generous of you. Klopp finished 5th, 8th, 4th in first 3 seasons. It wasn't until 5th season they started winning decent trophies. Yeah, but 5th, 8th, 4th isn't the 13th.
Yeah, but we haven't finished 13th yet, Kate. We're in 13th now, and we haven't finished 13th.
Pages like you, Jimbo, will never ask for a manager to be sacked, no matter who it is.
No, for me, it's not. For me to sit here and scream and shout that I want a manager sacked, it's not me to do that, right? But it makes no difference if I do it or not. But what I have in my brain is a different thing. But I just don't like to shout it out. Sometimes we've had managers, right, that I've wanted gone after seeing them for a month, but I've never said I want him sacked, you know. And there's no point in me saying it or not saying it anyway, because it won't make a blind bit of difference if he gets sacked or not.
Yeah, this is true, Joey. The players that have come in for the injured players have been some of the best. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's been our top players have let us down, our senior players, really.
Yeah, they've stood up, some of them, haven't they? And look, you can I mean, you see, sometimes things work in mysterious ways, Kate, right? We've had to bring these young players in, and some of them are starting to look really good now. So from next season, we might kick on with that. If we hadn't have had the injury we've had, some of these wouldn't have got half the chances they got.
Guy, I hope you're right. I would love nothing more than Ange to throw mud all over my face and us go on a winning streak and win a trophy this year and be up there next year challenging for another trophy or whatever. I just don't know. I don't think I see it happening.
I think he needs to sell Basuma. I don't think he fits in with this club at all. I don't.
What makes me laugh is Basuma has said he'll only sign a contract if he gets guaranteed minutes. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. Can we get guaranteed performances then, please? Because you've been crap. Cheeky sod. Your DOF is doing a shit job, by the way. Who even is there? Yeah, Johan Lang. And apparently Levy's come out and said that he really likes him, which is really worrying. Bring us Paratici back. Rebuild does not equal 13th in the league. You can rebuild and get points on the board. This is just silly.
And it's not silly when I just said to you, look at the overall picture of everything, right? And we haven't finished 13th yet. You know, we could end up finishing 8th. Who knows? You know, there's still a fair chunk of the season to go. So let's see where we end up before we speculate.
Well, I've done a poll, and the results were: does Postecoglou's future hinge on Spurs winning the Europa League? 44% said yes, 41% said no, and 13%.
Right, read it out again. Sorry, Kate.
Does Postecoglou's future hinge on Tottenham winning the Europa League? Yes, 44%. No, 41%. Not sure, 13%. So the majority of people are saying it does hinge on him winning the Europa League. I think if we go out with a limp like we have done in the other cups, there will be a bit of an outcry amongst the fans that want this guy gone.
Hey, can you add how long does it take you to do a poll?
Not long. Why?
I was to say, do a poll. Do they think he should stay if we win the Europa League, or he should get sacked no matter what?
Big up Moondog, another super chat saying, Johan Lang, out, waste of space at our club. Look, I don't even know what to say about this guy. He's like the invisible man. No one ever sees him, and he's just, I don't think he does anything.
Is he Australian, Kate?
I don't think so, no. He was at Villa, wasn't he? Start a poll. Now, look, should and be given time to stay if we win the Europa League. Right, I've put a quick poll in, Jim, so we get an idea of what people are thinking. Levy likes Ange because he's a yes man. Big up Leo says, Angus, I'm serious. Some of these players have let me down time and time again. Ange isn't a saint, but he hasn't let me down like Spurs have. Look, I hear that as well. I completely hear that. Do I honestly think we'll win the Europa League? Hand on heart, no. But if you're in it, you can win it, much like you with the Champions League. Do you honestly think you'll win it? Probably no, but there's always a part of you that hopes.
We will win the Europa League. The cup is on.
But who do we get if he goes? We'll be linked with a lot of other managers who haven't won anything. Look, I think we need, I don't know what we need. I think we need to close up and just become Tottenham Hotspur Entertainment Limited, maybe, and forget the football. Levy likes Lang because he buys in young players who he can sell for money. Yeah. Lang is Danish.
He's Danish. I didn't think he was.
Lang is more interested in kids than Jimmy Savile. You can't rebuild with the same owners with the same philosophy for 24 years. Rebuilding is a myth. The thing is, I'm all for having Project Youth, but you've still got to mix in some experience in there.
Yeah, of course you have.
Our golden chance was summer 2019, Champions League final, one of the best strikers in the world to build around. Levy chose not to make the financial push. You know what? We can all sit there and say that. We've all said it. It is what it is. We've got to move on from that. If we win the Europa League, he gets more time, says Ben. If we're being real and honest, Ange should have been sacked after the Liverpool and Villa losses to allow the new manager the rest of the season to instill what he wants. Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm still baffled.
I said that as well. That I was like dumbfounded every morning. I woke up and it wasn't on Sky Sports. But look, at the end of the day, I don't know. Levy must have some sort of plan. I don't know what, or the club must have some sort of plan. I mean, at the minute, I can't really see what it is, but there must be something going on.
Angus, respectfully, in my opinion, your team don't have a chance in the Champions League, so why bother going to Madrid? They're going to mollywop yous. Big up Anna Dawes says we have a systematic problem at the club, from the owners, coaches, medical scouting. We have issues in every aspect. We are stagnant. We never progress. It's not going to change under this regime. Yeah, spot on. I don't know if there's another protest planned. There surely must be. You can't just do one and then that be it. But I don't know if there is, or when it is, or what the situation is. But we're considering the turnout that went for the last one. I'll be surprised if there's not something else lined up. But we shall see. Arsenal do have a chance in the Champions League because their defence is good and they have done well in big games. If they keep it tight, their pieces will win games. The fact that he hasn't been sacked after those 2 losses tells me, regardless of what happens, Ange is Levy's man. That's what I said yesterday. I think he is. I think Levy's decided this is his guy. There is another planned. Oh, there is one planned. Okay. We've beat Real before. We will again, but anything can happen. I ain't confident at all, though. After watching last night, I think whoever wins out of that tie may well go on to win the whole thing, because both clubs were brilliant, in my opinion. In that little poll that I just did there, did I end it? I did end it, but it hasn't come up. All right. Should Ange be given more time to stay at Tottenham if we win the Europa League? 61% say yes, 38% say no. So yes, Jim, the majority think he will be given more time if we win the Europa League.
Well, I think it'd be really, really harsh if he wins the Europa League, the first trophy in 17 years, and they sack him. I just think that'd be so harsh, you know. But at the end of the day, then if they're going to keep him, they got to back him.
Yeah, of course. No, I hear you. I know what you're saying, but sorry, I don't know what the price is. How much the ticket prices have increased either for the season tickets. I don't know if anyone's here that can tell me.
Oh, there's been an increase, is there?
Yeah. Can tell me what the increase for the Tottenham season tickets
I'm sure
are.
Ben knows.
Whatever anyone says about our club, it's always a roller coaster ride. Buy your tickets and hold on for dear life. Yeah. If we ended up becoming like a City, we're one all the time, none of us would know what to do with ourselves. Honestly, I think we thrive on the mental breakdowns, to be fair. Arsenal might hold off Real for a bit, but Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo will score eventually. And if Atletico go through, they will play dirty and Arsenal's injury list will grow. They are so fast. When you watch Real Madrid play, they are such a quick team.
Well, Mbappe can give his man fucking 3 yards, 4 yards head start and still beat him to the ball. But I tell you what, Atletico are no mugs, are they?
No.
They played.
But they were above them in the league, so
they played some absolutely fantastic football. Some of their passing is sublime.
Would you take Diego Simeone at Tottenham? It would never happen in 10 million years, but I think we was talking about this, me and Jimbo. I think our players would have a massive shock if Simeone came in, and maybe that's what they need. But, I mean, Simeone working under Levy, can you even imagine? It'd be hilarious. But, look, he should have been given the duration of his contract like both parties agreed on, says Leo. Oh, look who's here, Mr. Bobby K. I've missed you, Bobby. Missed you lots and lots like jelly tots. Hope you're well, my lovely. Mwah. Big kisses for you because I've missed you. But hope you're okay. What if Ange wins Europa and walks away? I'll go, thanks, Ange. See you later, mate.
If he does, doesn't he?
It was in the New York Times article that I had a foreword, and I think it's a 3% rise. Oh, okay. The amount of league losses are a glaring statement of the direction we've taken. Levy's outlook is unsustainable for us. It's PLC before FC, yeah. Whoever we play, I'm not confident. Maybe that's a good thing, because you weren't confident with PSV and look what happened. And yes, Gallagher did get some game time last night. He was subbed on. Romero would love Simeone. I think Arsenal need the away leg first, and then they do okay in Madrid. It could go well for them. Right, I'm going to finish it there. I'll tell you why. Benny is on at 2. I have done a redirect for you, Benji. I would take someone 100%. We know that won't happen if he left, likely to be Serie A. He can't speak good English. He said it's impossible. I want the first leg to be in Madrid, and then back to the Emirates. I don't want a second leg at Madrid. No problem, Benny. We're back tomorrow. I am back at 2:00 tomorrow on Footy Judge Mo. I'm not doing a show on this channel tomorrow because I'm on there at 2. And then at 4:15, myself, Jim, Jose, and Nick are doing the pre-match pump up over on We Are Tottenham TV.
Nicholas,
Emerson Royale, Nicholas.
I thought he was doing the.
He's not doing the watch along now. He's been demoted to the pump up show.
Who is it? You, me,
Jose, and Nick.
Okay.
We'll be doing the pre-match pump up at 4:15 over on We Are Tottenham TV. And then on Sunday, I think it might be me, you, and I think Deji might be doing it. And I'm just waiting for confirmation from someone else on We Are Tottenham TV as well. So lots happening. No show here tomorrow, but do come over if you've got.
We've got a show Friday, haven't we?
Yeah, Friday we'll be here to do our Premier League predictions. I will post tomorrow the 2 links for the shows that we're doing. As I say, Footy Judge Mo at 2, and then pre-match pump up at 4:15. If Ange had the looks of Van der Vaart, what would you say? I'd still say he's not good enough, but it'd be easier to watch him. If he had the looks of Poch, I miss him so much. I can't even say his name without my heart hurting. Ben's lost his passport, so I won't be going to the game. It's already drawn. The second leg is at Madrid. So they start at the Emirates. There is 2 shows, just not here, Joey. Footy Judge Mo, We Are Tottenham TV. Look, Destiny, I hear you. I feel your pain. I love Pochettino. But yeah, back Friday with the pre-match. Pre-Premier League preview. I don't know if Nick and Chang are joining us. I think they are. Yeah, Jimbo, anything you want to say before we go?
I can't believe someone's lost their passport. Who is it? Ben from We Are Tottenham TV.
That's why he can't go to the game. Oh,
that's
shit.
One of the most important items that you own.
That's why you look after mine, because I threw my last one away with an old handbag. So I'm
62 and I never even come near to losing a passport. It's too important to lose. And it's such a pain in the arse to get a new one if you've lost one. The same with a driving license. I've lost my driving license because I wasn't using it for years. And I applied for a new one. And they want my old one and I can't find it because I haven't used it for I don't know how many years. So I've got to go through a massive rigmarole to get a new one.
Yeah.
But passport, oh my God.
Listen, enjoy the game, everyone, tomorrow night. And yeah, Jim, we want to say anything before we leave?
We will win tomorrow.
Before you go, massive thank you to Guy for Gareth Thompson for the super chat, Moondog for the super chat, Moondog for the other super chat, Moondog for another super chat, Moondog for another super chat, Moondog for another super chat, and Guy Thompson with a big super chat as well. Thank you. And of course, Bob Tate for being a member for 16 months. You guys are all amazing. I'm a Yank and I wish I could clone Poch so he can coach our national team and Tottenham at the same time. And apparently if Ben gets on a boat, he will get into the country okay. But yes, big up Jess. And I will sort out mental health stream soon, but next week I think I'm back down in London, so it's all a bit bonkers. But Jimbo, I shall let you finish the show.
Well, we will beat AZ tomorrow and then they'll come back to us and we'll beat them again. So it's going to be an easy win for us in through to the next round because we are the mighty Spurs. We've got some players back and we're going to kick some fucking ass. So sorry about your advert page, whatever it is, but I had to swear. Come on, you fucking Spurs.
Giving opinions with no regret. Smile
smashing the top bins. Back in the onion net, talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mix and transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin, while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Lenny stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match.